Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to your Fast Track to 7 a.m. here on the Valley today. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ashlyn Hill.
And I'm Alex Larson. New for you this morning, a Bemidji, Minnesota man is hurt after a crash in Beltrami County last night.
State Patrol says the crash happened shortly before 9 p.m. when 79-year-old Ronald Lyman of Bemidji collided with an SUV driven by 36-year-old Nicholas Lorsbach of Bagley. It happened at the intersection of Cardinal Road and Balsam Road.
They both are suffering non-life-threatening injuries. Lyman was taken to an area hospital for treatment, and alcohol is not believed to be a factor in this crash.
Several agencies responding to a large fire at a concrete contractor company in Holly. That happened around 5:30 last night at Terracon Precast. The smoke you see on your screen could be seen from miles away.
Authorities still have not said what exactly happened, but we did get a call from one employee at Terracon telling us the fire started when a worker was cutting a cable and it started sparking.
Yesterday marked 31 years since family and detectives have been searching for clues and answers in the disappearance of a Fargo man.
Kevin Mahoney was last seen walking toward his brother's home back in 1993, but he never made it. Since his disappearance, every year family members take to the streets of Fargo, holding signs to remind the community of his case and to keep his memory alive.
The case is still very active, we're told, but his family says they want answers now, as his sister was just diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer.
Lately it's been getting harder since I've been sick. I just want some answers. It's hard for me to come out today, but I'm not going to give up on him, so I'm just going to keep going forward, trying to figure out what happened.
Again, this case is still very active. If you do have any information about Kevin's disappearance, you're asked to please get in touch with the Fargo Police Department at the number on your screen. That number is also listed on our website.
A Dilworth Child Care Center now closing its doors abruptly. The owner at ABC 123 says rent is simply too high. Last Monday, owner Nicole Flick sent a letter to parents saying that she's struggling to get the landlord to work with her on her $22,000 a month rent.
And so that is in addition to about $3,000 in utilities and also being responsible for all maintenance of the building. Flick says when it comes down to it, rent is set to go up and she simply cannot afford to take care of that when she takes care of 40 children right now. She's licensed for 124.
6:51 here on our Fast Track to the top of the hour. Let's get a check of our forecast on our Thursday morning as some frost moves into the valley.
For the details, let's send things on over to meteorologist Lisa Green. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Yes, this morning we're watching out for patchy frost, and tomorrow, of course, our first alert weather day for more widespread frost. We do have some headlines for you. The light purple colors here include areas in our viewing area around Devil's Lake and then over toward parts of northwest Minnesota. And these are frost advisories that are in effect for temperatures that could get low and have gotten as low as 34 degrees in some instances, and that can lead to frost. These are in effect until 9 a.m. That dark purple over in Minot, Bismarck, and west, that's a freeze warning for western parts of the state. So here's a look at our current conditions. Fargo looking beautiful. We've got cloud cover overhead for much of the FM area. That's been helping to keep our temperatures from dropping as much overnight. It's kind of a blanketing effect. And so we're at 48 degrees right now. We have been bringing back that wind chill factor on some of our mornings recently. It does feel more like 45 when we factor in that northwesterly wind at 7 miles per hour. A sunrise at 7:29. One other thing to note, sadly, the 7:02 sunset tonight, our last 7 o'clock sunset until springtime. So still continuing to lose that daylight as we head further into the season. In Grand Forks, it's a lot chillier. We are clear there and our temperature is at 37. But look at our wind chill. It feels like 30 right now in Grand Forks. You may want, the jacket and also maybe a long sleeve shirt or something, that extra layer here this morning if you're going to be outside. Wind out of the southwest at 9, and sunrise is at 7:31. So clear skies north, south. We've got more clouds again this morning. You can see a lot of green on the map. That's not reaching the ground. We're looking at moisture in the mid levels, but at the surface it is on the dry side. Out at the bus stop, it's going to be chilly for the kids. They're going to want their jackets again in places, especially in the 30s. And Fargo will be in the 40s this morning. And we try to warm up today, getting to about 61 around 3 p.m. and our high 63 degrees in Fargo. So feeling like very much an October day. Tomorrow morning, our first alert weather day for that threat for widespread frost as temperatures will get into the 30s. And then you can see we'll be warming right back up into next week into the 70s. This weekend, just be aware, it's going to be a little windy coming up. We'll have more on that as we get closer.
Well, feeling more and more like fall.
Very much so today and tomorrow. We're going to have that fall feel.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Lisa.
Grayson Byman was only a 6th grader when he passed away following an 18-month-long battle with cancer.
Dave Kirkvliet, the Sebeka School District Superintendent, says Grayson was a beloved student who left a lasting impact both within the school and throughout the community. He shared with Valley News Live that Grayson embodied the true spirit of a Trojan, and in his memory, the school will be incorporating gray into its mascot colors.
Grayson got along with every student in his class. He was very polite, kind, friendly, like I said, talented. And so it was really amazing how wonderful his class interacted with him and how supportive they were with our time.
A visitation is being held tomorrow from 4 to 8 with a memorial service at 7 p.m. His funeral is scheduled for Saturday at 11 a.m., both at the Lutheran Church in Monaga.
We also have a link to a GoFundMe for the family on our website, valleynewslive.com. Just click on this story.
As the state of Minnesota prepares to legally sell marijuana, there are now questions about what that means for medical marijuana.
Jonah Kaplan has the details on the 2 key reasons why patients might still prefer going green at a medical dispensary.
There's a reason why economists think Minnesota's cannabis industry could soon be worth billions. In 2015, roughly 840 people enrolled in the state's first medical marijuana program. In 2024, it's more than 48,000. They shop at 15 dispensaries across the state.
I had such a stigma on it, and when I gave it a try, I will never go back. I will always be on medical marijuana.
Chelsea Swanson uses marijuana to relieve chronic pain and IBS, among other symptoms. Today, she drives more than a half hour from her home in St. Francis to this dispensary in New Hope. Starting next year, when selling recreational weed becomes legal, she might not have to drive so far or go through any regulatory process to buy what she wants. Swanson, though, says she's sticking with what she knows.
What you are getting here is top quality. It is something that is grown and made in Minnesota.
That's true, but state officials and prospective retailers stress that Minnesota's medical marijuana industry is the model for what's to come. Everything seed to sale happens in Minnesota. It's generally the same plant, grown the same way, with the same THC content, and the same safety standards. Still, there are 2 key differences. One, recreational pot will be taxed. Medical, tax-free. Second, recreational products will have limits on potency and possession. Medical won't.
Another bonus for medical marijuana patients, that $200 fee that you've been paying, the annual enrollment fee, yeah, that's gone starting next year. So it all seems like a good deal, right? Well, except if you look at the experience of other states who've legalized weed, because in those states, the medical marijuana industry tanks.
Let's just look at Michigan. In August, medical sales totaled $1.2 million. Recreational, $294 million. In Minnesota, it could be a while before retail dispensaries open, but surging demand for hemp-derived THC could be a sign of things to come. Kevin Swan recently opened North Star THC in Plymouth. His sales are up, but so are questions about whether his store will turn into a dispensary.
I get a high volume of people asking if flower is going to be available or if I'm going to sell it. So there will be a portion of my customers who don't come back here. But I also see people saying, I don't want to smoke.
For Chelsea Swanson, it doesn't matter what other people choose. She knows what she wants and what she trusts. She'll keep shopping here.
Can't mess around with health at all.
In Minneapolis, Jonah Kaplan, WCCO News.
Well, the federal farm bill officially expiring at midnight on Monday.
The 2018 Farm Bill is home to $428 billion in federal funding for crop insurance, nutrition, and conservation programs. The largest portion of the spending bill is allotted to nutrition programs like the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP.
The USDA has an approximate buffer period, though, until the end of 2024 until programs run out of money.
And happening today, it's Pint for a Pint. Drecker Brewing and Brewholla are holding a blood drive, and those who give blood will get a free beer to enjoy on the spot, or you can come back on a later date.
The blood drive is happening from noon until 6 at Drecker Brewing Company. The address up on your screen.
Donors with all blood types are needed, especially those with types O negative, A negative, and B negative. And if you want to give, just search for Drive 58102 at redcrossblood.org.
Some families may not be able to afford coats for their kids this winter.
And that's why a breakout star for the Minnesota Vikings defense is making sure hundreds of Twin Cities children have a warm gift for cold days.
Over at Nellie Stone Johnson School, linebacker Andrew Van Ginkel and United Healthcare teamed up to provide more than 400 coats and hats and something else they say every kid needs: confidence and encouragement.
Along with the coats, the team also provided a hygiene locker filled with soap, deodorant, toothpaste, and mouthwash.
The Today Show and CBS Mornings are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on.
More live up-to-the-minute news and weather coming up right now on the Fargo CW.
Thank you guys so much for waking up and joining us here in the Valley today. I'm Ashlyn Hill.
I'm Alex Larson. Don't forget your coat.